Hey everybody, it's episode 11. Let me check my hair here. Ooh, that's better. Episode 11, Average Guy Opinions. I'm your host and average guy, John Corelli. Um, I want to lighten the mood a little bit because we've had a coup. Times are crazy. And they're going to be continue to be crazy at least until this inauguration happens. So what I want to do today, though, is lighten the mood for you and talk about my nudism experiences. Okay? Um, my parents, this is my mother and my stepfather, um, got into nudism right around, I want to say 1980. I think, when you're a kid and you're raised a certain way, things seem normal to you. So I'd see my stepdad sometimes walk through the kitchen naked. I'd see my mom sometimes walk through the kitchen naked. We were not full-time nudists where we were naked all the time, doing everything naked. No, that honestly doesn't make sense. It's uncomfortable. Not just here, but bodily, like sitting on a fabricy couch with your balls. No, it's a bad idea. So, but my parents were just like, hey, we're just doing what we do. You can do what you do. And this is, to their credit, it was, you gotta understand, like I said, it was 1980. The 70s had just finished. So things were a little, I don't know, free and easy, I guess. Obviously, there's still nudism today. I don't know how popular it is versus 40 years ago, but it's around. I know that. In fact, there's a place here called Mountaineer Ranch where there is actually a nudist comedy show, which I've thought about asking to be a part of, but I think I actually did ask and never got an answer. So, but nobody wants to see this naked, and even less people want to see this do comedy. So, but yeah, I'll tell you my experience. I was going to say, to my parents' credit, it was nudism is about body image and getting rid of that, getting rid of image, really getting rid of clothing and trying to be natural. And it's not a big sex party up there, I can tell you that. But this Mountaineer Ranch place was, I actually ended up going up there for a couple summers. I don't remember it a lot. I was like 14 though, which is a horrible age to introduce your kids to actual nudism, not just in the home nudism. It's a bad idea. There was also a place called Coot Lake, which I just love that these places are so aptly named. Coot Lake was a man-made lake just off the Diagonal Highway in Boulder. It was a closed optional lake. It was not totally nudism or nudist, but we would get naked there. And I had two stepbrothers, and they would get naked, and we were all naked. It was about 50-50. It was kind of weird being naked and other people had clothes on, but 'twas what it was. I don't remember too much about Coot Lake. I remember a few things, though, and to me they're hilarious. I hope you'll find them hilarious. I did get a bit on the ass by like a bass or a bluegill or whatever the hell was swimming in that lake. Probably because my ass was so damn white from not being a full-time nudist. So I got my ass bit by a fish. I remember my stepbrothers both got their butts really burned because we had inner tubes and we'd just go out and float. And for some reason, they got burned worse than me. I'm not sure why that happened, but that happened. I do remember people would pull over on the diagonal with binoculars to perv it up and look at naked people. Sometimes you would get some people that were really brazen, and one particular time this guy was completely brazen, fully clothed. I mean, not even shorts, just jeans and a polo shirt, and just big old 35 millimeter lens camera just snapping away. And he's snapping away, and finally this guy comes up to us. So funny. He looked like the missing number of ZZ Top, this guy that came up to him. He had cowboy boots, a cowboy hat, and nothing else. Big old beard, and just was probably like 6 inches shorter than this guy, and put his face right up in his chest and just said, "People don't rightly appreciate cameras around here. You gotta go." And the guy's like, "Yeah, I do," and took off. Also at Coot Lake, I played volleyball once, and it was kind of funny because we had 8 of us, and it was 6 guys and 2 girls, and we said, oh, let's let the girls be captains and choose up the teams. And I swear to God, these girls looked right at our dicks just to choose volleyball teams. And I was young. I was like, this is back, like I said, I was 13, 14 years old. And these younger guys were like 20 and skinny and hung. And she's like, ooh, I'll take him. Ooh, and I'll take him. And then I was second to last to get chosen over the fat, like 58-year-old guy who had absolutely nothing down there. So I felt a little good that day. But I also felt pretty bad too. We played volleyball, and yeah, that's all I remember of Coot Lake. They did plow Coot Lake under. They filled that thing in. I don't know when that happened. I think it happened in the 90s. But yeah, so they got rid of Coot Lake, which once again, aptly named Coot Lake. And then yes, I think maybe a year or so after that, I ended up going to Mountaineer Ranch a couple times. That was weird because we would go with a family that was friends with us. My parents were friends with this couple, and they had a younger kid. At this point, my little brother was going. My half brother, not my stepbrother, but my half brother was going with us. He was like 4, so I was 14. He was 4. We're 10 years apart, and their family had a kid his age, so that kind of worked. They could do their little kid thing, but I was in no man's land. And I got to tell you, my parents' friend, the woman, she was fucking hot. She had a great body. She was a redhead. She was, oh man. And I'm like 14, and I'm seeing this woman in her 30s who's smoking. Come on, man. What are you doing to me? It was brutal. I mean, it was really hard. I mean, and people don't put on shorts. People like later ask me, why didn't you put on some shorts? I go, because that's as weird as me taking off my clothes downtown. You're not going to be the one clothed guy at the nudist camp. That's just fucking weird. It's creepy to everyone else. Why you got your clothes on? What are you here for? So you go naked. Yeah, so that was camping. I always like to laugh and call it, our family didn't go camping. Our family went nudist camping. Ha ha ha. One more story, and that'll probably round out the episode. So at Mountaineer Ranch, oh, by the way, Mountaineer Ranch is also funny because it's an aptly named tiny town, Colorado. Can't make this shit up. It's kind of tucked away in the mountains right by Tiny Town. And so one of the rules there is, like, sometimes people would put on clothes at night when it got cold in the woods, or they put a towel around themselves, of course, at the pool. But at the pool, you had to have no clothes. You could not go in that pool with any kind of clothing on. That was the rule. And so I was there sitting by the pool, no clothes on. I'd gone swimming. I was laying out. I was trying to get dry. And I will tell you this, too. Another thing about nudism, you do realize how many people do not have really good bodies. Most of us don't, and it's okay. It's fine. But that even makes it worse when you see the people that have the really hot bodies. And there was a woman there, another woman around 30, and I am looking right across the pool at her, and she's laying feet towards me, and I can just see everything right up her beautiful body. And I'm 14, man. And I know I'm hetero. And I know there's a ridiculously hot woman, so my mind starts working. And you can't kill a 14-year-old boner very easily, guys. It's not easy. And I started thinking, and all of a sudden, boom, and I'm fucking just flagpoling. I'm like a human sundial, just, and I'm just shutting my eyes and trying to think of anything that'll make me not have a boner anymore. And I remember it vividly. I'm on my back. I got my eyes shut tight because of the horror, but also because of the sun. And all of a sudden, the sun blots out like an eclipse. And I know it's a person. I know it's a shadow of somebody standing over me. I'm like, okay, look up. It's my stepdad. And he's just like, ugh. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know what to do. I'm just trying to kill this thing. He's like, you might want to turn over at this point. I was like, I can't. I'm like a bicycle with a kickstand. You cannot knock this shit down right now. So there are my tales of my semi-nudist upbringing and my early teen years, and explains a lot of why I am the way I am. Thanks, you guys. We'll see you next time for Average Guy Opinions. Stay safe, stay peaceful, and don't try nudism. Bye.